context for today's tour. What is Port Adelaide? I think it's important, if we're going to understand what Port Adelaide's about, that we need to look at a few points. Firstly, it's an historic capital city port which is long established with very significant industries. It's a national centre for maritime defence industries and training. It's South Australia's major road, rail and sea transport hub. It's a region with a great history and many well-preserved heritage buildings. It's a very worthy holiday and tourist destination that's only 20 minutes from the city. It's the site of significant urban renewal and developments offering superb climate and a great lifestyle. It's a regional centre for commerce, shopping, great food, the arts and water-based recreation. So where is Port Adelaide? Let's have a look at it geographically. Obviously it's in Australia. South Australia, and in the southeastern corner of South Australia is Adelaide. Let's have a closer look at Adelaide and its suburban environs. Firstly, Adelaide's a city with a population of about 1.2 million. There's centres planned for major expansion. They include the Northern Plains, the Adelaide Hills, the Southern Vales and around Victor Harbour. But it also importantly includes an area in the western suburbs right around Port Adelaide. So let's take a closer look at the western suburbs, particularly the northwestern suburbs of Adelaide. So there's Adelaide right here. And down here, Port Adelaide. Now there's a transport link which has been long established, and that's the Outer Harbour line. Goes through Port Adelaide and all the way down to the Lefevre Peninsula and to where the name suggests, to Outer Harbour. It terminates there. This is a commuter line. It's also a road, Port Road, a 3-lane highway that heads down to Port Adelaide. It's only 15 to 20 minutes to travel all the way from the city there, and there's a major link out into the northern areas which is so important for trade. And that's through the Port River Expressway. West Lakes, West Beach, Henley Beach, Grange, Glenelg are all adjacent along that coastline. The airport's not that far away either. Now there are some areas which have been earmarked for expansion in population. These are called TODs. This is transport-oriented developments. These TOD sites that are located in a string along in the lead up to Port Adelaide. The one at West Lakes will eventually need its own rail link, but the others are along the transport link as it stands. So those will be important to the growth of these western suburbs over the next few years. Now let's take a closer look at the Lefevre Peninsula. Now the Lefevre Peninsula, north of Port Adelaide, has a long string of suburban areas, residential areas that run along the coastline. At the end of the peninsula there's Techport, and the Outer Harbour ocean liner terminal is located there. As is the Submarine Corporation, where they're constructing the air warfare destroyers and submarines. There's a heavy rail transport line which heads down to Outer Harbour and services those industries. And the ships are able to get right up the channel to the head of the inner harbour there. There's industrial zones located around there. So that's vital to the running of the commerce of Port Adelaide and important to its future. Torrens Island Power Station is also not far away. Now let's have a closer look at the environs right around Port Adelaide. going to take a trip into Port Adelaide via 3 connections. The first one being up the Old Port Road into Commercial Road. Second one over the Diver Derrick Bridge and the Port River Expressway. And then we'll come in also through Hart Street and the Jervois Bridge and show you the 3 approaches which are the main ones which take people into Port Adelaide. There's existing residential areas which are established. Newport Quays is all new residential, and there's some also in commercial industrial over this side. Harts Mill is located within that. You've got the Port Mall and Dale Street, where all the commerce takes place, or much of it happens in that area, the day-to-day needs of people, and of course the Port Canal Shopping Centre, Commercial Road, Lipson Street and that historic zone which has these important areas which are allocated for the purpose of tourism. There's the wool stores, of course, we'll take a drive around that. There's several museums which are based around this old historic area of Old Port Adelaide, and the Dolphin Explorer takes a trip up the river, and a very pleasant one indeed, and then you're almost guaranteed of seeing dolphins when you go out on that. So let's go for a drive and have a look at Port Adelaide.